So you see the difference on the blade. You won't really see it by the eye, but you can see there's a 10 degrees on it. That's a ripping blade. Look how clean this was. I mean, yeah, of course down there it's gonna be rough because it's starting to bow. So the thing, it only took us what, 45 seconds to cut this one off. And that's 22-inch round. And that's 20-inch bar I put on that one, so it's lighter, because I don't need the big one on it yet. So we dropped that tree less than 2 minutes maybe, because I have to gauge it, making sure that there's no wind and all that stuff. So it doesn't take rocket science, it just takes math. So geometry. And on here, they give you a line for geometry. It's wherever I point that. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what this line is. So once I gauge where it's going to go, I cut that first cut at the bottom. Then when I cut that angle, it's about 70 degrees down. And then you've seen I got that big notch out. You don't need wedges. You don't need all this funky stuff. You don't, unless you feel like you're unsafe, then yeah, use it. But if you know what you're doing, just do it. You ain't scared. Don't be chicken. I'm out of breath. Anyways, come on. See, she's 22-inch round, so it's perfect. You put a new chain on, a little ripper. Just that 20-inch ripper chain can do more than that normal 36-inch one. So just goes to show, I mean, I've cut through this in a matter of time. So it all depends on the type of wood. This is a white cedar. The good thing is buying ripper chains is well worth it. It's so funny being at the store and Sharon's like, well, we can't buy this if we buy that. She's got us on this tight budget. I'm like, it's well worth it, so whatever. I'll buy this and I won't have to buy gummy bears or something. So other than that, I mean, this is a 311. So she's got a lot of horsepower and a lot of power. And once you put a ripping chain on, you can see what she does. She doesn't play around. I could actually use this on an Alaskan mill if I wanted to, which will make the cut so fast. So that's what ripping is. So other than that, I mean, I could actually rip through that and make what they call them cookies, is when you cut these in slices and you make them like cookies, and they make steps out of them. So other than that, yeah.
So your recommendation for cutting down trees is ripping chains?
Oh, all day, especially this big. So you don't have to hold this thing for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was fast.
So yeah.
Let about 2 minutes you cut down this tree.
Well, you got to gauge and judge where everything's gonna fall.
Yeah.
So I mean, you were curious, like, oh, is it gonna land on the tractor? No, it's just the way you. Yeah, that's why I stopped at one point and looked up, made sure the wind and rain and everything. So you take it all into account. I didn't use a wedge. I didn't use all these funky tools. I don't have a mask on because birds got a flu. So what? I'll eat the bird. Anyway, other than that, we have a little bit of work ahead of us. That's why I cut that piece so that way the tractor can drag it later. We call it the boneyard right now over there, where the rest are. But I'll cut all limbs off, then trim it up, delimb it, and bring it back. So that way we're not having a mess of limbs over here. Even though we've been burning stuff off the floor, so.
That's for sure.
For wood. But this smells so good too, this
wood. It does smell really good.
I love that cut.